good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy WordPlay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all. And we're live. What's going on, people? This your homeboy WordPlay TJ, and this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything for no reason at all. I got a guest host in the building today. It goes by Don Havi, producer extraordinaire, part of the 52 Collective. You want to introduce yourself and just kind of share what you do, what you make, and where the people can find you.
Yeah, so I'm Don Havi, and I make beats. I really just make art. Can find me on Instagram, Don Havi, DonHavi. All of my links are there, or on YouTube. I'm Lo-Fi Bodega on there. One word.
Word. I'm going to have you elevate a little bit.
Yeah. Easily.
I'm really excited to have you here. I'm really excited to introduce the people to what we've been listening to for the past week or so. And we're going to do a No Rhymer review of Life is Beautiful by the Alchemist, featuring Larry June, featuring 2 Chainz. They really have come together to do this independently and produce an album that's out there. And it's been out there for a little bit. I've been listening to it. I've been seeing videos pop up. It debuted right around, make sure I'm on the right page. When did it come out? Damn, there is no description here. This is not helpful. Released on February 7th, 2025. Thank you, Google. I appreciate that. And when it came out, I was like, what is this? You know what I mean? And so what I want to think about is like, what was your first impression when you listened to it? And like, how did it hit you? How did it resonate or even not resonate with you?
Yeah, well, at first I was like, 2 Chainz? and Alchemist? Yeah, it's kind of a random, almost combination, but works if you used to listen to Titty Boy, though.
Right.
Because he used to rap on those type of beats, not really too much, not super trap beats he would rap on. So it wasn't a new thing, but it was new for the time being. So yeah, at first I was like thrown off almost, like, because we know Larry June already works with Alchemist, and they got a good combination together. But yeah, when I seen all 3, I was like, okay, this is tight.
Yeah, it does remind me of those like 2 Chainz, Titty Boy, like Disturbing the Peace, early Ludacris albums, and before the rebrand to 2 Chainz when he's working Player Circle.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Mm-hmm. Player Circle made their new debut into the commercial realm. And then they worked with Lil Wayne. I think it was
Duffel Bag
Boy. Thank you.
It's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah. And then after Duffel Bag Boy, you get the 2 Chainz, the birthday song, and all those albums that really just kind of launched his career in the like kind of 2010s mixtape days. So I don't know. I appreciated this sound from 2 Chainz because that is 2 Chainz roots. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So we're going to jump into the themes, the production, the some of our favorite tracks from the album, and we're going to talk about our arbitrary rating at the end. If you have any thoughts about this album, be sure to leave them down in the YouTube comments. Be sure to rate this podcast and interact with the conversation. We want to know what you think about Life is Beautiful by Alchemist, 2 Chainz, and Larry June. And so with some of those things, what did you hear when you were listening to it beyond just kind of the 2 Chainz Titty Boy piece?
So for me, I'd be listening to, at first I was like, I am used to Titty Boy or 2 Chainz actually rapping like dope metaphors where I'm like, okay, but what I'm used to hearing from him is like more street related stuff.
Right.
Because, you know, of course he was talking about his own life back then. So hearing what he was rapping about now was a little bit different. But when I heard Larry June like kind of like going hard, I was like, okay, I know for sure Larry June rapping is gonna make Titty Boy, like, I know he's gonna have to come back. As I was listening to it, I was like, I know he's gonna have to come back, like, and also go hard on this verse, because Larry June's already like laced it up for the first verse. It sounds real good right now, so he's gonna have to match basically.
Yeah, I felt like this situation was a display of smart street rap.
Yep.
If there could be a better way to put that, but like that's what I can really say about what I was hearing in this project. And for Alchemist, and we'll dive into this a little bit more with production, but for Alchemist, this seemed like he was blending the work that he was doing, that he does in Atlanta on mixtapes, with a lot of that kind of street rap essence. So he was testing his boundaries, adding some trap elements here and there, and then just kind of pulling it all together to bring out the best in both of these MCs. So I think with those themes, it really kind of created a cohesive and solidified project. Did you also hear all of the kind of interludes in between?
Yeah. I think interludes are the best, and you don't even hear them that much these days anymore.
Right.
But I've noticed Alchemist always puts those in his albums. So when I was like, when I found out that he was making a project with 2 Chainz, I already knew like there'd be some crazy interludes in there mixed in, making it sound like the album, like the lettuce, you know, to the sandwich, making it sound really putting it together well.
Yeah, it felt cohesive. Every song kind of blended into the next song and connected to the last, and so yeah, you're right. Like the lettuce to the sandwiches. That's a great way to put it. For the production, I feel like we can continue to kind of roll on this. Is there anything else in the production that stood out to you?
The reverse ones were cool. The other ones that like were like more sample based, I really liked those ones. I was like, okay, this is like the Alchemist that I'm used to. But yeah, how you were saying earlier, how he tried to basically mix his style to make a 2 Chainz shine more. Like I can kind of hear that in there with those the ones that they had videos for that were like the reversed sampled songs.
Like Colossal.
Yeah, I can tell that he did those. He experimented more with those to basically for the benefit of the artist to make them shine better. But my favorite ones was definitely the more sample based ones that you can kind of hear the sample more. Those are always my favorite type of beats, and those are the ones that Alchemist shines on the best to me.
Yeah, for me, I don't know how to put this in I guess a politically correct way. I feel as if this is not Alchemist showing off
Yeah.
as
Sure.
much as I know Alchemist to show off. I really have seen Alchemist shine on things on records that he's done with like Kendrick Lamar and folks from TDE, really, right? Schoolboy Q and other MCs. I felt like he didn't phone it in, but he did like relax a little bit into the beat. And maybe that's a good thing, right? Maybe that relaxing is the most natural way for him to show up instead of forcing himself to be like forcing himself to show off in the project. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I definitely think that these beats weren't his best, but like you were saying, yeah, maybe he had to, reel it back a little bit for the sake of the other artists, really for the sake of 2 Chainz, because I feel like we know that him and Larry June make great music already together, but I think to like make it more a better sound for 2 Chainz,
Yeah.
he had to like reel it back a little bit and kind of think of his favor of like what placements to put the drums, what drums to use, and even like what samples probably.
Yeah, it sounds like what you're saying is like he had to open it up for them a little bit. He didn't want the beat to overtake what was happening with the vocals and the vocal performance. He wanted the vocal performance to sit within the mix. And sometimes samples can interrupt that if you're not rapping with them, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
What did you think about what was some favorite tracks for you?
I think we were talking about, I think it was
The last one on the album, the
yep, Gene Provey.
Prove.
Yeah. That was, yeah. So I listened to the first ones, the videos first, and I was like, I wasn't really feeling them too much. I was like, yeah. But, they're the videos, they're the songs that have videos for a reason. But I mostly don't like gravitate towards those ones anyways, most of the time. But it really just depends, though. For like this project, I didn't really feel those one too much. And then once I heard that song, I was like, okay, this is a good one. The production wise, that's like kind of the first thing I'm listening to when I listen to a song. So once I heard the production, like a couple seconds in, I was like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I came to hear, basically.
Yeah. It's funny because one of the lines in the song was like, niggas know my flow nasty like Mountain Dew. And then the ad lib is nasty. And I would jump on Genius and the and the annotation says Mountain Dew's out here catching strays from 2 Chainz.
Yo, hey, Mountain Dew though.
Yeah.
2 Chainz is funny.
I don't know, man. I was a Mountain Dew connoisseur as a kid.
I feel
Not
that.
so much now, but back then, give me some Mountain Dew, or go to Taco Bell, get a Baja Blast.
Yeah, they had like what Mountain Dew like red or something like that. I think back
Code
in the day.
Red. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They kind of had some wild collabs.
Yeah. Kind of speaking of Mountain Dew and and drinks that could elicit some wild activities. They talk about like Dirty Sprite on Generations and some other things that they kind of bring into the hook. Like, and they talked about this on the Breakfast Club, where the song Generations, which is one of my favorites, brings out we were doing this a long time ago. Nothing that these kids are doing is new. And they said in the interview that can be good, and that can also be, not so good, not so positive, not a great look, that the younger generation is just latched on to things that are, ultimately like negative in the long run.
Right. Or even the same things.
Right. Right. And so it just, for me, the songs push and pull is what attracts me to it. It also is a standout on this record because it's more trap than any other song on this album. And so it was a great opportunity to have a palate cleanser for this album. And I say that in the kind of nicest way. It wasn't like I didn't like the theme of the whole project. It was just, this was an interruption to what I was already hearing, but it was a pleasant interruption, in my opinion.
Are you familiar with Boldy James?
I haven't heard the Boldy James project.
Okay. So when it comes to trap beats
Yeah.
that Alchemist makes,
Yeah.
so the first one I've ever heard basically was a song he made with Boldy James, I think in like 2020, maybe 2000. Yeah, I think it was 2020. But yeah, that was like when I first heard him make a trap beat, and like I was like, wow, this is kind of my favorite trap beat I've ever heard. Yeah, like Alchemist, yeah, when he mixes in, he can really just shine.
Yeah.
Especially on like even for trap beats.
Yeah.
And those really, and that's like saying something because I don't even like trap beats like that. So
Right. So I'm curious, like, are there any other things that you enjoyed about this album before we get into our arbitrary rating and kind of think about how we would rate this project?
Nah, nothing too crazy. Of course, just hearing Titty Boy 2 Chainz just rap
Right.
again on some stuff that I'm used to hearing was good.
Yeah. What did you think? This is a question that popped up in my head. What did you think about, they've gone completely independent with this project. What do you think about independence in today's time when it comes to like people that are this famous, so to speak?
Like they released it on a different label or just
They have a indie distributor, but they're doing all the rest of the work themselves.
So I think it's really good that they did that. I mean, even though they're big artists, you got to think smarter, not harder.
Right.
And like at this point, it's been proven that you do not need any type of label, any type of like corporation or nothing like that
Right.
to really push your albums. All you really need is a website. Honestly,
You don't even need that.
yeah, all you really need is Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Alchemist proved it himself before he launched his website. He was just releasing his albums on Bandcamp, and it would sell out in like minutes. And he was making, who knows, more than labels make, just
Yeah.
off doing that. So he's already proved it through his own methods that it's possible to make probably more money than they would with the label.
Yeah. I didn't know Alchemist was doing that on Bandcamp.
Yeah. He was releasing like multiple albums on Bandcamp before he had his site. And
Okay.
and every time he did it, sells out just like that. And then also when it sold out, resale went up for whatever album. So yeah, he was making a lot of money, and he was basically seeing that there's a lot of money to be made, and you don't need a label. All you really need is the fans and just staying good at what you love.
Probably a good team around you and that type of thing.
Yeah. I'd imagine he had a good team.
Yeah.
For at least doing some things, but I know he was doing a lot of the work himself. He was saying, I watched like an interview and he was talking about how he had to like get everything together, put it up on the site, and then once he did the first drop, he really like realized that you don't need a label. So then that's when he decided to launch the website.
Cool. That was dope. I didn't know any of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it an arbitrary rating. I'm gonna start off for this album. I really want to give it maybe 4 out of 5 Mountain Dew bottles, not the 20 ounce, but like a 2 liter. That's what I want to give it. What about you?
I'll probably go with 3.5.
So 3.5 out of 5 sailboats, 4 out of 5 Mountain Dew bottles. That's where it is. The album is Life is Beautiful. The Alchemist, Larry June, 2 Chainz. Y'all can go listen to it wherever music is being streamed or sold. And please go down to the comment section and give us what your thoughts are about Life is Beautiful. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. Be sure to share this podcast with somebody that might get something out of it. And until next time, it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ and
Don Havi.
And we are out. Peace.
Peace.